The Cybernetic Approach video, a sequel to the book, The Search for the Perfect Swing. Welcome to the Cybernetic Approach video, Part 10, Golf, the Brain and Mind Game. Cybernetics is huge. It is a super science. Just like computers, neuroscience is another part of cybernetics. In the past 20 years, functional MRIs allow scientists to watch how human brains work. Your brain is hardware as an iPhone. Your mind is more like the apps, songs, videos, and ringtones you have accumulated or discarded through the years. In this video, I answer the question, why does a golfer talk to his ball? Do you care to provide an explanation? Human intelligence works by memorizing patterns for future use. As you walk up the stairs, your brain is predicting where the next step will be. Therefore, you cannot see things without some form of previous experience. Your brain is a huge network where millions of smaller specialized networks excite and suppress each other. Nervous signals are transformed into colors, edges, forms, sounds, and feelings of pleasure and pain. The brain literally has to recreate the world inside our heads from nervous signals that only have different frequencies and intensities. It is like we have a ultra high definition TV projecting images and sounds inside our skull. No images as such travel through the optic nerve. Neuroscience discoveries can benefit your game of golf. For instance, neurons that fire together wire together. The more you practice an efficient swing, the better and more dependable it gets. If your swing is all over the place, then learning will be slowed down. The key to quick learning is to reinforce the neuronal pathways that provide optimum swinging. Practice makes perfect? No. Perfect practice makes perfect. Second useful discovery for golf. Our brains build a self-referential map of ourselves. The brain spends a lot of processing power in order to give you a sense of self. Your brain knows if the cup of coffee on the table is within your reach. Your brain knows where it is up and where it is down and remembers all the rooms in your house. This built-in capability is exactly what you need to master the game of golf. To sense how long each club is and what it takes to swing it at 100 miles per hour, 1/8 of an inch above the ground, that takes some computed power. This is the proprioceptor sense at work. Proprioceptor means having a sense of the space you occupy, a sense of yourself. Can you hit a golf ball with your eyes closed? You should be able to do so eventually. Close your eyes. You can touch your nose. By the way, notice in this map above all the computing power taken by your hands. Brains are more plastic or malleable than previously thought. Building these new networks, however, takes time. A rhesus monkey requires 2 weeks to incorporate a casino rake that allows him to reach for a peanut. Blind people develop this binding with their walking canes, golf pros with their golf clubs, and teenagers with their phones. The monkey experiment gives us a good idea of the time it takes a novice golfer to really learn to control a golf club to hit exactly where he will impact the ball just right. This could take months of practice. You have to create a specialized network inside your head. This is by far the fastest possible way there is. You are changing your internal hardware, neural nets, and synaptic connections, as well as your mind, your internal software, your mental image of the extent of your new body, which includes a whole new set of clubs. Everything at the same time. Performing as a PGA Tour pro usually takes several years of hard, consistent, and very patient practice. This new knowledge answers the very opening question in this video. Why does Jordan Spieth talk to his ball? Why do most golfers do this? Because both the club and the ball become a part of you. You incorporate your equipment as part of your body. I dare say that good golfers are able to incorporate big chunks of the green inside their heads too, maybe even the whole golf course. The same thing happens with your hat, your horse, and your pickup truck. Right, Jordan? The swing machine accelerates building a special proprioceptor sense for golf. It gives you real-time feedback whenever your club leaves the swing plane. No teacher or video camera will ever be as efficient. Add the fact that the swing lasts only a second. There are just too many sensations and movements that need to be coordinated over and over to create a hardwired network. Practice and your brain will comply. You have to incorporate a huge amount of space in your head. The ideal practice would include developing the neural net connections with a machine and then try them out on the range. Do this until you can make 5-yard distinctions with your wedges and short iron shots. Every swing you practice should have a constant duration according to whatever makes you comfortable, all the way up to a 2-second backswing. The downswing to impact, however, is kept constant at around a quarter of a second. Soon you will be playing close to scratch golf, assuming you are in good shape. As I said before, the brain anticipates the future because it needs a reference, good or bad, to deal with new information. This anticipation of consequences is what allows us to feel a good golf stroke in real time, even before the nerve impulses reaches our brain. When we hit a perfect shot, our brain is already feeling really great before we actually can witness the flight of the ball. This wonderful sensation then triggers a dopamine surge that is meant to reward our bodies for the great feat we have just accomplished. A huge driver down the middle or a wedge shot stopping inches away from the pin. The dopamine high, not so much good scores, is what brings many people back to play again and again. There is nothing like it. One last fact I want to talk about: the science of body map. A functional magnetic resonating images study was made of golfers ages 24 to 50 with handicaps 0 to 13. Better golfers' brains turned out use less energy while imagining themselves practicing on the range than the other high handicappers. The better you get at golf, the more efficient your brain becomes. Certain tasks are reorganized at more automatic movement areas that have been created for that purpose. Now let me quote: skill migrates to the lower level motor maps. Paying attention to the swing gets in the way. The YIPS. This is one of the worst problems for the mind of the golfer. This is not about choking, not a psychological disorder. It has to do with the overlapping of the geography of the brain. Here is the quote: This is a problem of overlearning. Motor maps get tangled together. Unrelated muscles receive a go while the others freeze. Will happen more to golfers who are too process oriented. The solution is to visualize where the ball is supposed to go and let it happen. Body maps can degrade with passing years. Now to the positive feedback loop, dystonias, the YIPS. These turn to worsen with anxiety and explains the difference between the practice range and the golf course. I can only imagine the problem of trying to change your swing and recreate all the lower level maps. Or like me, who has experimented with some 13 or more different swings. In my experience, biofeedback works for curing the yips. Maybe it is because reprogramming your conditioned responses eliminates the tension, which exacerbates the potential for getting the yips. A dear pro golfer friend had a terrible problem with the yips during putting at pro tour events. One of my brothers, a psychologist, devised a treatment. He used biofeedback to teach his body how to cancel his body's reaction by recalling the situation where the yips betrayed him in front of the gallery, and then he would have to push the biofeedback needle back to normal. A gradual reconditioning cured him. What brought him back from the Asian tour was his need for family life, not the dreaded yips. Golf biggest control challenge? Impact lasting half a millisecond. There is simply no way to correct any mistake in your swing in the last hundredths of a second before impact. How do we program the swing is something we have to research further, but it is a fact that we know where we are before we hit it. That is, our body knows more than we are consciously aware. Here is an expert opinion on this. Visual motor maps make up for reaction delay by overshooting target based on a prediction. Perception and action are predictive and they rely on each other. You have mental models of you and of the world and are constantly updating them with the latest information from the senses and at the same time extrapolating predictions from them. This is not simple stuff. Someday we will get it just right. An easy way to improve your game is to imagine a practice session. You improve your game just by doing it. The same neuronal pathways are activated when you hit a golf ball and when you remember the shot. It is conducive to a reorganization of your body map. A friend played imaginary golf while trying to sleep. He reached a 2 handicap, having started playing golf at 45 years of age. At the tender age of 72, he shoots his age once in a while. There are millions of golfers out there ready to benefit from the cybernetic approach on how to make this challenging game a lot easier. I guess that's all. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video and to learn what it means to take the cybernetic approach for anything you want to improve. Goodbye for now and have fun working on the new you golfer.